Hello and welcome to another blog from me, Lawrence Grant. To talk to you about the iFootage Nano. Lots of you have probably seen it online and read the reviews and know what a beautiful piece of equipment it is. It's all solid metal, metally grinded and beautifully put together. There's an adjustment foot there, wheel there, so that you can adjust the rail. There's mounting points there. What I actually do is put a Manfrotto quick release plate on there, and I have it releasing onto the tripod head. I have another one of these, which is the Manfrotto 394. So I use this kit. I use this kit a lot. That's on the base and that's on the top, so I can clip the camera on and I can clip the slider onto the tripod. So all my system is built around that idea. Here we have the lock system, which is a bit like putting it into park in a car. I've used this plate, as I say, and what I've done is I've put it on here. It moves around, but I think it gives a good lower sense of gravity. You see some of these rigs where people have put a ball head here, and I've actually got one over there, and that would take it to about there, and then I'm worried about the stability of it there. So I've gone for a low down plate, so that when the camera sits on here, there won't be as much wobble. So switching on is this button here, where you press it for about 3 seconds. It takes a standard Sony MPF battery there. And lots of you, as I say, will have read how the reviews work. It's going into its auto calibration now, and the reviews will, here we go, are calibrated, so it's going through its calibration there. So yeah, quality, no issue, lovely red, and you know that video red, as we would probably come to love. The setting of it, very, very easy, you know, the A and B points and whatever. But really what I wanted to talk to you about, and the shame about this, is that I would like to talk to you about some of the negatives of it. As I say, beautiful quality and everything. But first of all, this plate of mine, it's still doing a little bit of a calibration. It's got a bubble level there, and I've got a bubble level on my plate as well. It's got one on the side, so it's finished there. So we need the menu to skip that calibration every time, because when you switch the slider off, it will auto calibrate it. And usually I've got the camera on there, and I've got to take the camera off and put it into calibration, then put the camera back on again. So we're in there, and the two buttons take us into the A and B points, so you know that you position it for A, and then you position it for B, and then you run it. Now it's off there now. Now one of the things is, if I want to, I've stopped that. That's in the middle of, right, it's in the middle of doing something. Okay, so there it goes. Lovely, lovely smooth. I can't hear it. My hearing is not maybe the brilliant thing, but I can't hear it. It's got nice little pads there. When it gets to the end, it's got a sensor there and some more pads there. No question about the quality of it. But I want to stop it, so there should be a pause button. I want to do something. All it does is let me exit it. It says, are you sure? I'm saying sure, and then that's the version of exit. But then I want to start it again. I've got to then go standby. It then has to flash a few times. I think it goes back to a thing, and then start, and then starts again. Now that's fine, but how many buttons did I press then? You know, exit, sure, that's 2, and then to get it going again, 3, goes to standby, flashes, then start, and 4 to get going. So that's 4 buttons. Now why isn't there a button on here I can just press that says pause it and then restart? So that's one thing. Second thing is the battery here, it's a 750. You're lucky to get an hour. I've got a good charger, I've got other good batteries. This battery, like so many of the batteries, overrated in its capacitance. You're lucky if you get an hour. So don't expect anything more than that. Although, as you can see there, it's got the USB-C socket. You can plug in a charger and keep that running. You can plug in a power bank or a charger, so you've got no real worries about it, but you need to be careful. You can put just a standard charger and it will charge that battery up as well. That's a nice. Well, there we can see the feet, the build. As I say, no question on that. And then a couple of other things. So we've talked about the battery, and we've talked about the stop start and whatever. And here, this lock button. Right, I can't do anything with it at the moment because it's in standby. So I've got to come out of here. I've got to more or less, to get anything here, I've got to switch it off. That's in a start button. So where am I going now? I want to switch it off. Right, that started again. So exit. Right, I'm not over here, home button. Okay, we'll go back to the, so we've got the, so this, oh, this is locked now. So I can't, well, it's physically locked, but I can move it, but it's actually locked on there. I'd like to, I can't do anything unless I press the 2 buttons and I go into A and B, and then it's released. It's then released. And I'd like to be able to make this lock button lock and stay locked. Stay locked. I don't want it to move. I want it to stay locked. I don't want it to slide. I don't want it to pan. I just want that to stay in, and but it won't. So I have to do my setting here, whichever. If I want to just do a slide, I have to make sure that's perfectly, as I say, I've got to make sure that's perfectly locked in position, and then I can do my A and my B. Okay, so I'd like to see that go locked in there. So I can't do that until I set it up. Well, that's another thing. So come out of that again, press the home button. There's stop motion settings. These are just to set how long it takes you to before you want it to go, and how long they want the screen to stay. So they're not particularly important. And then there's the time. There's a time how long you want to set, quick start, how long you want it to go for, and you've got A and B and loop. That's you know, all standard stuff. Right. Okay. The other issue is that I got this for putting on a reasonably heavy camera. I mean, it doesn't exceed the weights that's stipulated. It's currently on the desktop, so you know, it will only go so far, but usually I use it on a tripod, and the tripod I'm using has a head, and it has these plates on it, which are pretty, I mean, they are pretty solid. These, you know, you can see there's virtually no movement there, but when this is on the tripod, there is movement, and I found that it's better that if I'm going to do any sliding, and again, the only way I can get that to start to move is to start near the bottom of the control panel. So the control panel is obviously weighing a little bit more with the battery, and this is a lighter end. So if I start with this and go more towards here, obviously I get a longer length when it's on a tripod, but if I was to set it there, it would perform slightly better than if I started up here where all the weight is sagging down there, and then I go down here where the weight is less. But the camera I'm using, which I've used a few, but the rig that I've got here and I'll show you it. It's the Fuji with a battery box, an X series with a battery box and a lens. Okay, it's got a few bits and pieces on it. I've taken the monitor off, I've taken the handle off, I've taken the power supply used for the follow focus off, and I've lightened it down, but there's still movement. There is still movement there, and I have tried a Manfrotto, I think it's an 804, it's a 3-axis head, so it's got pan, tilt and turn. I've tried a ball head, which I found is a little bit worse because you know the tightening of the ball head is not as good as it is when you're using a 3-axis. It's over there, so you can tighten that axis, that tilt, and you can tighten the pan, and you can tighten the roll, and you can get a really good fix on it, and it still rocks, and I put it on the ball head and it still rocks, and this is with a lower center of gravity here, and you still see that movement occurring, and I've not exceeded the 2.5 kilogram. I haven't used it vertically, but I do use it on a tripod. I don't use it very much on a desktop, as you can see now, because I have it on the plate system. So what I think it should have is some sort of supporting function here. It doesn't have any, as far as I know. They're just screws. So what it needs is some sort of plate, maybe across here. Well, yeah, I don't know. It needs some sort of system that allows you to support one end. I know on another slider, the longer slider is on a tripod, and to stop that rocking, you can put, it's got a 1/4-20 underneath either end, and you can put a little adapter and a small stand and get that stability there. This was quite heavy, but this should have some sort of additional support somewhere here. I'm not sure how they can do it, but maybe they could design something that went across here that had a support, or maybe I've got to design something myself. Possibly there is there a 1/4-20 there. I'm just wondering if I could come off here with maybe some sort of angle bracket, although that's the wrong end. I want the support, I want it on this end, some sort of angle bracket, or maybe an articulated thing, and then bring this down to a socket, and then put a small stand on it just to give that little bit of stability. But other than those points, which, those are the points that I've learned to see, the battery, the software here, the calibration, the pausing, the stability, things like that. It just would make it, just that much better. So anyway, I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight to how I feel about it. Beautiful product, but it just not quite there. But nothing's perfect, but it could be just that much better. Anyway, I hope I helped you in some way to understand what you're going to get when you buy one of these. So until next time, catch you later. Bye for now.